So the past couple of months, it seems like now, whenever you guys see me out here, we've been talking about this one animal, right? This one animal that's like, that God uses as an analogy, right? An analogy being, using its like or as features. And this animal was pretty incredible. It was awesome to study this animal because you see so much in that animal that just screams leader. So much in that animal that screams, you know what, I'm a go-getter. So much in that animal that screams, you know what, adversity, there ain't no such thing as adversity because I take adversity and adversity picks me up. Amen? This animal is just like the whole process of it and how it relates to us and us being human beings and us in our walk with Christ and there's just so many similarities where, we spoke about how we are built to last and how this animal is built to last. And it's built by intelligent design. We talked about what it was to be built to last. We talked about what the process of being built to last is. We talked about how God wants us to be built to last. And mainly what the text that we've been focusing on here lately has been on the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verses 28 to 31. And I'll read it again. Just so you guys, I want you guys to just kind of keep this and make this part of you, because this right here, it'll get you through it. The word says, do you not know, have you not heard, the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, does not become tired or grow weary. There is no searching of his understanding. He gives strength to the weary, and to him who has no might he increases power. Even youths grow weary and tired, and vigorous young men stumble badly. But those who wait on the Lord, who expect, look for, and hope in him, will gain new strength and renew their power. They will lift up their wings and rise up close to God like eagles, rising towards the sun. They will run and not become weary. They will walk and not grow tired. So many of us, I know a lot of times, sometimes we deflate. Sometimes we're running on E. Sometimes we just get tired. And every time I feel that way, I always go back to this and say, you know what? Regardless of what it is that you're going through, regardless of how stressful life can be, you continue pushing forward. Life is it's just a series of obstacles. Life is as we're going to talk today, it's a series of storms. It's a series of things that always come up. And man, like I love those high points, and I wish I could always ride that high wave. But if you live long enough, you're gonna encounter adversity. You're gonna encounter situations, and I could guarantee you that. Even if you haven't felt anything now, you will feel it. That's just part of life. That's just what it is. So a while back we talked about the process and how the eagle accepts each other, how it builds a relationship, how it prepares, how it pushes the baby off the nest and just to push it for growth and all these this whole process that the eagle goes through from when we're meeting each other. And we kind of related it how it is when we come to Christ and how we meet him and how this walk is a lifelong walk, and seeing how the eagle, when they mate for life. They're not just a one-day thing and then they're done. Once they mate for life. But the one interesting thing about before they mating is that they learn to trust. So the female learns to trust the male eagle, and that's one thing that we as Christians in our walk should be trusting in God. Amen. So we talked about how the process went, and then afterwards talked about how it was a mysterious animal, right? We talked about how the eagle does not fit in with any other animal. The eagle does not fit in with chickens, and it does not fit in with pigeons, and it does not fit in with turkeys and all those other types of birds. It doesn't fit in. It's a different animal, right? We talked about how God calls us to be different people, right? He talks about calling us to be peculiar people, right? To call us the chosen generation. And peculiar does not mean that you're a weirdo. Peculiar actually means that you belong to him. So he's calling you to be peculiar. Why? Because you are his. So we covered that, and then last time around we talked about the eagle's vision. We talked about how the eagles, they have this focal eyelid, right, where they activate this eyelid, and all of a sudden they're able to spot an ant from 20 stories in the air, and from miles and miles up in the air, it's able to spot a fish on water and just go in to get to it, right? So we talked about how God wants us to focus on him, right? And how the eagle, whenever it's attacked, whenever its enemies comes, whenever something comes after it, it could do one or two things. It can either fight or it could take flight. And taking flight meaning that, again, he activates his eyelids, his bifocals, and he's able to fly into the sun. You see, us as humans, we can't look into the sun because we'll get blind. We can't look in the sun more than 5 seconds and it's going to affect our eyes. Well, it's the same thing in the animal world. But with this animal, activate his third eyelid, flies right into the sun. What's the advantage? The advantage is that he flies up, flies to the sun, S-U-N, as us Christians should be flying into the sun, S-O-N. Whenever adversities come, whenever trials comes, you look up to him. Why? Because when the enemies come after him, they can only go but so high. He goes way higher, and God causes us Christians to be high flyers. He wants us to have that vision. He wants us to be like eagles and just be able to focus on him. So we talked about how it is that he looks into the sun. Went over some verses that pretty much show how they seize the opportunity. But this is the other point that we're getting to today. It's something about the storm. And I'm telling you guys, I just have one more message on this, and we're done with the Eagle series. But the storm is a very, very, very interesting thing to talk about, because a lot of people often refer to the eagle as how the eagle handles itself in the storm. And that's what we're going to look into a little bit here today. And I do encourage you that you take whatever is brought here today, you take it and study it and look into it, and you'll see how incredible it is, that how this animal is designed for it. So we're going to talk about storms. We're going to talk about different types of storms. We're going to talk about how an eagle acts in a storm. And then we're going to talk about letting go and let God. And you'll see how the eagle tends to do that, and how God wants us to do that as Christians. So let's just get right into it. What is a storm? A storm is a violent disturbance of the atmosphere with strong winds and usually rain, thunder, lightning, and snow. And the interesting part about this is a violent disturbance. So all of a sudden your world is fine, your atmosphere is fine, you're having a good life, everything is going your way, and then suddenly, boom, something comes and hits you, it blindsides you. How many have been in situations like that before? Where you just from one moment to another, all of a sudden your whole world is shaken up. We've been there plenty of times, and it sucks. Be honest, it sucks. You're just blindsided. You're like you're focused on a certain thing, and you're trying to make progress, and you're trying to move forward, and then something comes and just hits you from the side, or hits you from the back, and you don't even see it coming. It's kind of like, sometimes I work, I get the opportunity to, work in these crazy structural places, right? So I remember one time being up in one of the towers in Times Square, and we're behind this giant screen, and we're climbing up this vertical ladder, and I'm like, all right, well, look, hey, I got 8 floors to climb up, but it's a straight ladder, and every floor, there's different levels, and on every level, there's that's what we call catwalk, which is basically these steel beams with some type of metal. It's basically a metal floor. Nobody short of it. It's a metal floor, and you have this little square that you have to climb up on. Well, all right, well, here I am climbing up, and I'm like, all right, I'm making enough progress, I'm making it up there on third level. All of a sudden, I lose track, and as I'm climbing up, I bang my head on the next level. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I have two choices now. I'm like, I let go and I fall and I really hurt myself, or I hold on and just suck up the pain. Obviously I sucked up the pain, and the rest of the afternoon I was out of it, but it just caught me so off guard, because I'm like, I thought I was on track, I thought I was going to make it straight up, and next thing you know, the level changed, blindsided, boom. All of a sudden I was out for the rest of the day. I'm like, okay, I think I need to go home here. My head is like really hurting. So sometimes these things happen to us, and you know what? They're inevitable, but it's what happens after it. It's how we handle the situation. It's what either one is going to develop. It's going to develop who you are. It's going to develop your character, and that's what these storms do. So you could be fine, and all of a sudden something happens. All of a sudden all hell breaks loose in your life. We got something for that though. Another definition is a tumultuous reaction or uproar to controversy. So you hear about something and everybody goes crazy. Again, something happens. You hear news about something, and all of a sudden your world just gets shaken up. A heavy or sudden volley or discharge. Same thing. Randomly, a random discharge happens. A random explosion happens. Something happens in your life, in your world, and you're like, how did this happen? What happened? All of a sudden we catch ourselves in a situation. It's also to rush and assault or attack, or it's also to rush angrily. There are two purposes for storms. They're either going to teach us, or they're going to slow us down. And that's what we're going to look into now. It's the different types of storms. So we're going to talk about 3 different types of storms that we might encounter in our lives. So the first type that we're going to look at, and before we go into it, let's see what the scriptures say here on Matthew 5:45. If you go to open up your Bibles to it, or if not, you can just read it on here. So that you may show yourselves to be the children of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on those who are evil and those who are good, and makes the rain fall on the righteous, those who are morally upright, and the unrighteous, the unrepentant, those who oppose him. You see, it rains on all of us. Storms are, because you're a Christian doesn't mean that you're not gonna have the stormy seasons. It falls on all of us, believers, non-believers. You know, once I heard a preacher, and he made something that made a lot of sense, and I was like, I just sat back and thought about it. I'm like, And he said that, you know, in life, there's always, you know, we're dealing with constant storms. And he said that in life, you're either one, going into a storm, or two, you're in a storm, or three, you're coming out of a storm. And, you know, you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, you know, like, we're constantly dealing with situations. Maybe your situation at home is not good, and your marriage is in shambles, and you're going through a storm in your marriage, you know, or maybe that business deal that you made did not really go too well, and all of a sudden you're hurting financially, and you're going through a financial storm, you know, or maybe if it's your kids, you know, and if you raise your kids, you know, the right way, you thought you did everything right, and all of a sudden he ends up taking a totally different direction, you know, and you're dealing with all these different storms. So the first type of storm that I want to talk to you guys about is called the storm of correction. So this type of storm happens when we go in the wrong direction. You know, has anybody ever done what they shouldn't be doing? Has anybody gone in the totally opposite direction? You know, and then we're not wondering, well, why did it happen to me, God? What happened? I didn't deserve this. Let me tell you something, you did it to yourself, first and foremost. And sometimes God allows that to happen in order for him to shape us up, in order for him to bring correction into our lives. You see, in the book of Jonah, everybody here knows Jonah, right? We all know the story of Jonah. But if you go to chapter 1, verses 1 through 4, in the book of Jonah, God gives Jonah specific direction on what to do. Has God talked to anybody here before? Has anybody here received a prophetic word? But God said, hey, do this. Oh, I want to use you for this, and I want to use you for that. Now let me ask you, what have you done with it? Have you taken it and just put it away? Or take it and put it away in your hard drive somewhere, your computer, and say, you know what, I'll bring this back out 20 years later? What have you done with the cause that he has given us? What have you done with all the gifts what have you done with all the gifts he's given you? The word says, now Jonah is a prophet, right? So he was, if you read the Bible in the book of 2 Kings, you see that he prophesied to King Jeroboam. He told him, hey, look, the southern part of Israel, that's going to be protected. That's going to be restored. We're going to win the war. And when that prophet brought that word to that king, and it came to pass, everybody celebrated Jonah. Everybody loved Jonah. And then for the next 15 years, God does not use Jonah anymore. Until this point. And the word says, now the word of the Lord came to Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, go to Nineveh, that great city, and proclaim judgment against it. For their wickedness has come up before me. Now Nineveh is a place that nobody wanted to go to. And Jonah, being the patriotic person that he is, he's like, that's the enemy. I don't want to go there. Well, why would I want to go out there? Why would we want to go to Nineveh? Not realizing that all of us have it in Nineveh. All of us have a place that we don't want to go back into. All of us have a place that's just so hidden that we don't want to ever want to go back. We don't want to go back to the place where we were raped. We don't want to go back to the place where we were molested. We don't want to go back to the place where we were abandoned. Where they called us names. Where people made fun of us. Where your self-esteem was torn down. Nobody wants to go back to that place. And here's God telling Jonah, go to that place. Now verse 3 it says, but Jonah ran away to Tarshish to escape from the presence of the Lord. Now just so you guys have a little perspective on this. See, Jonah was from this place called Gath Hefer. Nineveh was just north. That's not a far trip. Instead, he goes to Joppa. He goes south and gets on a boat and goes all the way over to Spain. Now, modern day, you talk about Nineveh, is somewhere in the Syria, Israel area, and he gets in a boat and he goes all the way down to Portugal. God told you to go to Nineveh. What are you doing going all the way to the other side where you shouldn't go to? He went down to Joppa and found a ship going to Tarshish, the most remote of the Phoenician trading cities. So he paid the fare and went down into the ship to go into Tarshish away from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord hurled a great wind towards the sea, and there was a violent tempest on the sea, so that the ship was about to break up. Then the sailors were afraid. Each man cried out to his God, and to lighten the ship and diminish the danger, they threw the ship's cargo in the sea. But Jonah had gone below into the hold of the ship and had laid down and was sound asleep. So the captain came up to him and said, "How can you stay asleep? Get up! Call on your God. Perhaps your God will give a thought to us that we will not perish." You see, Jonah was not supposed to be there. God called you to do something. You're going to run and do the opposite? Be prepared for the consequences. The things are going to happen. So guess what? The storm happened. God allowed the storm to happen. And what happened next? Everybody panicked. Everybody was scared. What's going on? You know, like we spoke maybe a month and a half back about how the whole process was when they were on the boat and they were casting lots, and the lot fell 3 times on Jonah, and they were like, wait a minute, something about you. And at that point, it's like, all right, look, the Lord told me to go over here and proclaim the word and tell them that I'm bringing judgment on these people in Nineveh, but I'm going the opposite direction. See, God gave me a call, and he said that I was going to be a preacher, or he said I was going to be a teacher. He said I was going to go out and touch the nations. What am I doing in the nightclub? What am I doing getting drunk at the bar? What am I doing? What am I doing? Are we not believing his promises? Are we not believing what he has for us? Is that our lack of faith? What are we doing and building towards that? So he allowed the storm. And what happened? Once Jonah realized, he's like, you know what? I said, I'm done. I'm not supposed to be here. Get rid of me. And they threw him off the boat. As soon as they threw him off the boat, everything calmed down. The storm went away. Because he wasn't to be where he was supposed to be and do what he was supposed to be doing. Now we know the story. The great fish comes. He's there for 3 days, 3 nights. Where he repents. He has a change of heart. And when he has that change of heart, he went right back to what God asked him to do. And he was successful in his mission. He went out there and he cried out for these people who were wicked, these people who hated you. He went back to that place that he did not want to go to. And he overcame it. So that's one type. A storm of correction. See, a lot of times we rebel. We do what we shouldn't be doing. And next thing you know, when we catch ourselves in these situations, we're playing the victim role, knowing that we put ourselves there. And if you catch yourself consistently in these storms, maybe the reason why certain storms will happen to us in our lives is because we have not learned anything from them. You know, we let things happen over and over and over again. We all heard the famous definition according to Einstein, right? You do something over and over and over, expect a different result. You're crazy. Next type of storm. It's a protecting storm. See, this is the type of storm when God, he looks out for you. How many of you have ever been in a situation where you look back and you're thinking like, man, God really spared me from that. That should have been me. I should have been there. I'll tell you time and time again, man, that night my friend was murdered, I was there 15 minutes with him before. 15 minutes later, we get the call, hey, shooting on the block, he's dead. You know, God protects you from these certain things. You know, he protects you from these certain storms, right? And the example that I want to give you guys here is going back to the scripture on Matthew 14. You know, sometimes things happen that we don't understand until we see the bigger picture. So on Matthew 14, the next storm that we're going to look into here, this takes place right after Jesus fed the 5,000 men, not counting women and kids. Right, they had the 12 baskets left over. So they had just performed this crazy, amazing miracle, right? So all these guys were hyped. They were like, you know what? Yeah, Jesus. You know, can you just imagine that? You being there, part of that team, and all of a sudden, this massive miracle happens, and listen, 5,000 men, no, not counting their wives, not counting their kids. So you have a lot of people there. These guys were excited. You know, kind of like when you go and do something. Like for example, you know, a couple of years ago, we got a chance to go to Colombia, and we went to Pastor David's church, and we just ripped that whole thing apart, and then we put it right back together for them and upgraded them pretty much everywhere, and it was awesome. And I was like, I came back hyped, bro. I was like, man, I could do this all the time. I could go all over the world and do this type of stuff because I enjoy it. It's fun. It's great, right? You know. So here's the disciples, and the disciples, mind you, these are guys who would argue about who's the greatest. I'm the greatest disciple. You're the greatest disciple. And it's funny because how God chose all these 12 guys, you know. You have somebody like Simon who was a zealot, right? Simon is like your modern day, you know, the folks that are out there protesting, right? These guys that are against the government, they're anti-government, they hate the government. And this is who Simon was, right? He was a zealot, right? He was like anti-government and everything. And then they put somebody like a Matthew, who's a tax collector, who's like all government and everything. You know, you're like, you know, like these are the folks that he pulled together. Well, anyways, the word says, so after this happened, the word says, immediately he directed the disciples to get into the boat and go ahead into the other side of the Sea of Galilee, while he sent the crowds away. After he had dismissed the crowds, he went up to the mountain by himself to pray, and when it was evening, he was there alone. But the boat, by this time, was already a long distance from the land, tossed and battered by the waves, for the wind was against them. So, before the disciples got all like excited, I don't want to say that, I don't want to say big-headed, but before they got a chance to say, oh yeah, look what Jesus did, everything is great, come on, or he's like, wait a minute, you know what, here, let me take you, let me bring you out of here, go get on the boat, and go elsewhere. Because this is not about you. This is about God. And sometimes our human nature wants to take over that. You know? You want to use your gifts, you want to use your talents, but it's all for Him. It's never for us. So, in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus came to them walking on the sea, and when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified and said, it's a ghost! And they cried out in fear. But immediately he spoke to them, saying, take courage, it is I, do not be afraid. You see, I heard an interesting story. It's kind of a funny story about this guy, right? He was an ex-football player in, I think it was college in Virginia, I think it was West Virginia. Anyway, so this university, they had a program where, you know, if something, like for example, somebody dies and you decide to donate your body to science, so they have this program where they'll take these corpses of people and they'll lay them out, you know, outside of their building, and you know they'll let them, you know, rot away, and they'll do their you know their experiments on that. So that's why, you know, when nowadays we know when they find a body somewhere, they're able to tell, hey, it's been out here for this long, it's been 3 months, 5 months, whatever long. So they had this program in this university, right? So, you know, and outside of the building, you know, the science building where they have all this, you know, or the medical building, they have these bodies laid out. So, and obviously they don't have the bodies laid out wide open. They put a white sheet over the bodies, and then, you know, they just let them be there. You know, hey, this one is 3 months, this one is 5 months, this one, you know, like this is what they do, you know, and how you get results, you know, whenever investigations happen. So they came a point in time where, you know, these guys from the football team, they wanted to pull a prank on one of the teammates. So they're like, hey, it's Halloween. Let's go to the science building over there, and let's go cover some of those corpses. So they're like, all right, let's go do it. Not realizing, you know, that the whole team, you know, that it was a practical joke. So 5 guys from the team, they jump on a car and they go there, and they go, you know, they go to the place, and they're like, all right, well look, body number 1, they pull it up, they see it. And they go over to body number 2, they pull it up, okay, body number 2. Before they got to body number 3, you see, there was one of the guys, one of the pranksters. He had gone there before, and he had laid on the ground and covered himself with a sheet. So by the time they go to number 3, the guy gets up, and the football team is like screaming, they run! They're like, it's a ghost! And they're running! You know, and the guy says, you know, it's like, by the time all of us got back to the car, there was only 4 of us. And he's like, wait a minute, he's like, weren't there 5 of us? But the fifth guy was hiding behind a tree, petrified. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe what I just saw. This guy's nervous out of his mind. So mind you, these are 6'5", 300-pound football players that are scared to death because they saw a corpse get up, in the middle of the night. They're like, what the heck? So can you just imagine what the disciples, what they were saying when they were on that boat and they looked down, they're like, whoa. It's a ghost, they must have been scared. Obviously he shows up and he says, you know what? It's me. Don't worry about it. So we can be upset about God for sometimes with things that, situations that replace them, things that we do, and sometimes it might not make sense. Sometimes we might get mad. God, I'm supposed to be doing this. Well, what am I doing here? Or God, I'm supposed to be over there. Not knowing that He's looking out for us. That He has a plan. His plans are perfect. His word says, right? And all we got to do is just kind of make the best out of it. So, because He's ultimately looking out for us. And at the right time, we should do everything. So sometimes we go into situations, we go into certain storms just for our own benefits, just for Him to protect us from something that could be much more worse. Amen. The third type is the perfecting storm, right? So this is a storm where it's gonna bring forth growth. Sometimes you get thrown in a situation, it's either you're gonna sink or you're gonna swim, right? That's how the saying goes, right? Either you're gonna do it or you're just gonna quit. And quitting is not an option for me. I used to be a quitter. And my quitting vice was alcohol. I'll be upset, I'll be mad. Hey, go to the bar, throw a couple shots back. All your problems are gone for the next few hours. These are going to bring forth growth. The book of Luke, chapter 8, verse 22 through 25. This is another storm. The word says, now in those days, Jesus and His disciples got into a boat, and He said to them, let us cross over to the other side of the lake. So they set out. But as they were sailing, He fell asleep. And a fierce gale of wind swept down, as through a wind tunnel on the lake. And they began to be swamped. And they were in great danger. They came to Jesus and woke Him, saying, Master, Master, we're about to die. He got up and rebuked the wind and the raging, violent waves, and they ceased and became calm. And He said to them, where is your faith? Your confidence in me? They were afraid and astonished, saying to one another, who then is this, that He commands even the winds and the sea to obey Him? You see, He allowed them to go through the storm so they could learn to trust Him through any circumstance. You see, we have to trust in Him. We don't know what's going on right now. We're all dealing with personal storms. We're all dealing with personal issues. All we can do is just trust in Him. And trust that He has placed us where He wants us to be. Trust that He has placed you where He wants you to be. Trust that He'll take you to where you need to be. They didn't have to panic. Look what He says. He says, let us cross over. Let us cross over. Meaning that you're going to get there. He didn't say, hey, let's cross over smoothly. Let's cross over and everything is going to be fine and dandy. He said, you're going to cross over. He has a promise for you. And that promise is going to be fulfilled. He's not promising you that it's going to be easy. But you'll get there. Everything that He has spoken to you, you'll get there. So, how does this relate to the eagle? You see, when situations come in our lives, the eagle, we need to be like eagles. You see, the way an eagle is designed, it's like so perfect. The shape of its wings and how they're interlaced and how whenever they flap down they pick up air, but when they go back up they open up and let air flow through, and all of a sudden they have no drag, as they call it. And modern day aeronautics they took a lot of those designs from birds. So if you look at the design of a bird's wing, you'll see exactly what you see in an airplane. I saw a video of an eagle that is used in Hollywood, right? It's a trained eagle. This guy's in movies and all this. Really, the guy's well off. And they put him, this guy's holding on to him. He has him in his arm, and they put him in a wind tunnel. And they turn the wind tunnel on, and all of a sudden the winds just start hitting it. And at the moment that the winds start hitting it, the eagle goes into position. He picks up his wings, and all of a sudden, it goes from weighing 20 pounds to weighing nothing in the air, because he lets the wind do all the work. Now, I studied aviation, when I was in high school. One of my first, dreams in life was to be a pilot. I wanted to do that, and I took a flight for 4 years, and it was awesome. One of the things that we learned in flight was, this design, and I wanted to show you this because this is important, how us as humans need to be. And this is the same way that an eagle works. You see, when there's no wind or anything going on, the eagle has to use his own energy in order to pick up, to lift up, right? But as soon as a storm comes, as soon as a situation comes, as soon as things happen, and you feel the winds, all of a sudden, this is what happens to the eagle. This is what happens to it. So it just picks itself up. Now, you hold it longer, it's just going to go higher and higher. This is the way this animal is designed. And this is what God wants us to be like in the storm. He doesn't want us to be the person who gets hit in the storm and does nothing about it. It sits down and cries, and all of a sudden, I hate my life and I hate everything about it, and I'm never going to get married, and I'm never going to have kids, and I'm never going to be successful, and I'm never going to have a house, and I'm never going to have the job I want. He just says, you know what? Just write it out. Don't worry about it. Why? Because I'm going to get to do it. And he does. And ladies and gentlemen, that was a quick lesson on aviation. But it's awesome because when the storm comes, we need to be like eagles and just rise above. You see, when the storm comes, the eagle is not heavy anymore. The eagle knows when the storm is coming. With him, you're safe. You see, God is going to reveal things to you. He's going to show you when things are coming. You're connected with him. You have that communion with him. You have that connection with him. He's going to show you. So when things are coming, you'll know. And that's what the word says on Psalm 46:1. God is our refuge and our strength, a very present and well-proved help in trouble. You see, as long as we know this, and we know that we are safe with him. His word tells us we are safe with him, right? So as soon as the eagle knows. And have you ever been outside and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a storm comes, and you're actually able to smell it too? Have you guys ever experienced that? When you smell it, you're like, yeah, it's about to start raining. It's coming. So the eagle knows that. He knows that the storm's coming. And what's the next thing that it does? He finds a high point, and he stays at that high point, right? So it flies to a high spot and waits for the winds to come. Your connection with God will keep you calm and know that he is in control, right? Psalm 107:29 says, he hushed the storm to a gentle whisper so that the waves of the sea were still. Like I said, this is Psalm. This is way before Jesus, and you can see how the Old Testament and New Testament references, and it's pretty awesome. And I just love how detailed God is with his word and the things that he does. So it goes to a high, so it knows when the storm comes, it flies to a high spot and waits for the winds to come. When the wind comes, it sets its wings, so that the wind will pick it up and lift it above the storm. You call upon him. At that point, on Psalm 34:17 says, when the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and rescues them from all their distress and troubles. You see, when the storm comes, when you know that you're in a storm, you call upon him. And all of a sudden, he's going to bring you right back up. He said he's going to bring you right back up. He's going to bring you right back up. So, call upon him. Something interesting that the eagle does, right before it takes off in the storm, it howls. Now my voice is a little bad here, so I can't make a howling noise. But the eagle howls. It howls for a long time, and he's like, all right, here's the storm. Here it comes. I can't do it, man. I would love to, but I can't with my throat. I've been fighting. So, the eagle does not escape the storm. It uses its lift to get it higher. We can rise above by setting our minds and believing in Him. You see, when the storm comes, he feels the winds. He's going up high. He's okay, I'm getting in position. As soon as it hits, he just lifts up his wings and he just glides. Not only does he glide, but he soars. As we saw at how they're designed, as soon as the wind hits it, it's naturally going to pick it up. It's going to pick it up. So it's using no energy. And at times, that's what God wants us to do. When we're in those situations that come up in our lives, and we're in those storms of life, He just says, you know what, let go. Just pick up your wings and use this energy for something positive.
Amen.
You see, as I always say, it's never nothing wrong with your aim. Your aim is good. It's just your target and how you handle it, where you're looking towards, you know. Are you going to look at the storm as a horrible situation, or are you going to look at it as a growing opportunity, or something that's going to make you a better person, something that's going to build your character? Let me tell you, man, we've gotten a bunch of black eyes in this ministry. You know, we have seen things come, people come and go, and people say things and spread rumors. And, you know, if you knew half of the things that we deal with on a regular basis, you're like, wow. But then again, we think about how God is opening doors in Australia, and how God is opening doors in Asia, and how God is opening doors all over South and Central America, and all over the places. And you're like, wait a minute, how is a small ministry like this doing so much? Because God has a purpose and He has a plan. He has a plan for all of us. That's why I'm urging you today that if He has called you to do something for Him, go ahead and do it. And if you messed up, and if you feel like you messed up, or if you messed up already, guess what? You can pick yourself back up, come back to Him, repent, and keep going. He doesn't care about your past. He wants to use you, and He wants you to move forward. So it does not escape the storm. We can rise above by setting our minds and believe on Him. See, it doesn't, and I love that part. I love that part because He doesn't have to use His energy. He doesn't. He doesn't have to flap His wings. All He has to do is just lift them and let the storm do the rest of the work. And take them higher and higher and higher and higher. And next thing you know, hey, situation, you're not bugging me. I'll get through it. Don't worry about it. My God has my back, amen? 2 Corinthians 12:9 says, but He has said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. My loving kindness and my mercy are more than enough. Always available, regardless of the situation. For my power is being perfected and is completed, has shown itself more effectively in your weakness. God, I'm tired. I can't do it. Another storm. He tells you, therefore, I will all the more gladly boast in my weakness, so that the power of Christ may completely unfold in me and may dwell in me. In your weakness is when he steps in and He gives you the strength you need. Amen. Amen? This is really you. And something happens, right? When the storm comes and the eagle is way up top there and he's looking down at the storm and he's like, okay, you know what? The eagle is the only bird that gets excited when the storm comes. The eagle gets excited. He's like, you know what? Yes, this is another opportunity. I'm going to enjoy it. Meanwhile, chickens are going back into the barn, and turkeys are going back into the barns, and all those other birds, they're running back. They're like, no, I got to get some shelter. I'm scared. I don't want. The storm is here. The eagle, he rejoices. The eagle is happy. He's like, you know what? I'm about to have fun. The eagle gets excited, and he enjoys it. The word Nehemiah 8:10, the end of that verse says, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. It says, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. The eagle looks at the storm, and he gets excited. He's full of joy. He's like, yes. And if you ever seen the eagle right before a storm and gliding into the storm, the eagle's gliding up, he's gliding down, he's turning around, he's like worshiping. He's like, yes, I love it. I get to enjoy this storm. The joy of the Lord is His strength. God wants you to know today that regardless of what situation or what might be happening in your life right now, His joy is going to be your strength. And His joy is going to allow you to put up your wings and take off and enjoy it. You see, because if you lose your joy, you're losing your strength. Be like the eagle who enjoys it. If you lose your joy, you lose your strength. Are you serving the Lord with joy? Are you finding joy in anything that you do for God? Because the joy of the Lord is your strength. That's what keeps us going. The eagle is flying on wings of joy. We should all be serving God on wings of joy. Whenever we do something for God, let it not be something that drags, that it's like, I hate it, why I gotta do this? Let it be something that you enjoy, something that brings joy and purpose and fulfillment to your life. See, one person that found joy in everything that he did for the Lord is the prophet Paul. Paul was in jail. Paul was in jail the last years of his life. The last years he was in jail. He was in a Roman jail. I see documentaries of people in jail nowadays and they're living good. There's certain jails that have, you have TV, you have gyms, and you have all the, wait a minute, is this supposed to be jail or is that a vacation you're on? But Paul, being in this Roman jail, probably all surrounded by guards all over the place because we know the things that God did with him. But yet Paul found joy in being in jail because he knew that he was serving God. So from jail he writes the book, he writes the prison letters as they're called. And from jail, he writes to the Ephesians, and he writes to the Philippians, and he writes to the Colossians. And one thing that stuck out was in Philippians 1:18. When he was writing to them, he says, "What then? Notwithstanding in every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is preached. And therein I do rejoice. Yea, I will rejoice." Let's stand to our feet.
Joining the NBMI experience today. Like, comment, and subscribe at www.facebook.com/NBMINY or our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NBMICHURCH. Also check out our new and improved website at www.newbeginningschurches.com. And finally, check out our new awesome church app, available on both Android and Apple platforms. Search your app store for NBMICHURCH and be blessed.